So in 1 month, we have taken the entire revenue system of the country, without one public hearing, without any witness testimony, without the solicitation of one expert. We, meaning the Republican majority, they've decided to go forward with this reckless plan. Contrast this with Reagan and O'Neill and Rostenkowski and Packwood in 1986. When Gephardt and Bradley first offered their bill in 1982 on tax reform, 4 years ensued before the measure came to the floor for passage, and in that time, 450 witnesses offered testimony. Every expert from every nook and cranny in America was invited to offer their vision of what a better tax system might look like. And to those individuals, and I knew them all because I went to the committee when Mr. Rostenkowski was the chairman, they saw that as the fabled achievement of their time in a bipartisan manner. And you know what else? Secretary Reagan and Chief of Staff Jim Baker sat through the markups on that tax reform measure. Now, Secretary Mnuchin instead has said, nobody at the top will get a tax cut. And then they cut the rate from 39.6 at the top to 37. Well, nobody at the top will get a tax cut. We're going to double the exemption on this estate tax so that you might now keep $22 million rather than $11 million without any formalization of taxation. And my friend, Mr. Brady, and he is my friend, he spoke before about the people's money. Well, you know what the people's responsibility is? 1 million new veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan. That's the people's responsibility. When we talk about responsibility and the people's money, Medicare is the people's responsibility. Social Security is the people's responsibility. Medicaid today, as we celebrate the extension of life expectancy in America, Medicaid now cares for people with dementia and Alzheimer's disease. That's the people's responsibility. They have carefully taken theology and wed it to science fiction. Remember what we've heard around here all of these years? Don't worry, tax cuts pay for themselves. That was the offering in 2001, $1.3 trillion worth of tax cuts. Well, we get to 2003, another $1 trillion worth of tax cuts. And by the way, there was time in between for a repatriation holiday at 5.25, all advertised on the basis of job creation. And layoffs ensued almost the next day. This money is going to be used for stock buybacks and dividends. There will be little investment in this last opportunity where we should have invested in community colleges and vocational education and apprenticeship programs. 6 million jobs in America go unanswered every single day because of a skills alignment problem and also the horror of what opiate addiction has done across the United States and has sidelined 2 million people. So what they're telling us today is the following. We've got tax simplification. What happened to the postcard? As I said earlier, we're going to have to carry around a billboard for tax simplification to figure out what's in it. They keep talking about phase-ins and phase-outs. I'm telling you, we'll all be passed out by the time with this. This is more complexity. And wait till people have a chance over the next few weeks to sort what's in this bill. But here's something you might give some thought to. The bottom quintile, you're going to get $60 a year. The second quintile, you're going to get $380 a year. The top 1%, they're going to get $51,000 a year. And the top 0.1%, they're going to get $193,000 a year, all in the name of middle-class tax relief. So as we proceed to the holiday, they're telling us this is their Christmas present. And you know what they're doing with it? It's going to be Christmas hangover debt, and they're putting it on the credit card and adding $2.3 trillion to the federal debt. Merry Christmas.